Hey, Inspiredum. I just watched your last video and I thought it was really good again. I really like the difference between emotional intelligence and intellectual intelligence. I do think there's a difference, and so I decided I would make a video on it. And also, I wanted to talk about actually an experience I had today. I was on a conference reports channel, and and I was he made a video about people flagging his videos. I guess people are flagging his videos because they disagree with him or something. So then his videos will get taken down by YouTube, and I think that's unfortunate, and I feel bad for him. But I think part of the problem is that YouTube, I guess, gets like something like 48 hours a minute of new video. So there's like a tremendous amount of information that's coming in on YouTube, and I think it's really hard for YouTube to filter through sort of what is uh, what is actually inappropriate material and what's actually not inappropriate material. I mean, I think there are malicious flaggers who are doing it just because they don't like somebody and it's not actually inappropriate material. But I think YouTube has a tremendous amount of information coming in, and it's a difficult task for YouTube. So, but I also want to say, he was talking about how it's a free speech issue, and I posted a comment on there saying it's not actually a free speech issue because YouTube is a private organization. They're not public. There's a difference between private and public organizations. Uh, I mean, a public organization would be like a park, or um, you can go to like a university, a public university, and you can exercise your free speech rights there all you want. But YouTube is private. YouTube has no obligation to post our videos. This video I'm making right now, YouTube doesn't have to post. YouTube has YouTube has free speech rights also, just like I have free speech rights. But if I want to exercise my free speech rights, I don't have the same rights under YouTube as I do under like a public park. There's a difference between the public and the private sphere. Um, I know, I think with private organizations, they can refuse business to you under any for any reason, except for protected class reasons, like your religion, your race. I think your sexual orientation now, I believe, and for disability status reasons. So those are the only reasons that YouTube can't not allow a video. If YouTube doesn't want to allow a video, they don't have to allow a video. It's the difference between the public and the private sphere. But if you go to a park and you want to talk about um, whatever issue interested in, um, you can do that. But YouTube doesn't have to allow us our videos. So I think people might not like that, but that's the sad reality. I mean, I guess we could move to an all public sphere society. Like, we could have no private property under like socialism or communism, but we live in a society with private property. So, I mean, I personally have possessions I enjoy. Um, but anyways, the other thing too is when I posted my comment on there, I guess I was going to mention the difference between emotional and intellectual intelligence. His comment back to me was when I wrote was one sec here. He said, "You sir, you sir are a corporate lackey, a running dog of the establishment, and a wanker. I hate you. Now fuck off." So yeah, I mean, it's always nice to know that people hate you. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it doesn't feel good to have somebody tell you they hate you and, to F off. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I guess you gotta roll with the punches. So, um, but anyways, um, I'm also actually sympathetic, to the viewpoint that corporations do have too much monetary influence in our society, because I do think that they have too much influence, but I don't know if it's a free speech issue though, because your free speech rights aren't being infringed upon because that you can't post upon YouTube a video that you like because frankly they're just a private organization. Um, just like a restaurant. If a restaurant doesn't want to serve you, they don't have to serve you. So um, I guess I think many of the people on this page, maybe I don't know, maybe they're just like kind of political reactionaries or something. Which is another point I also wanted to make lastly here is that um, I definitely feel I can understand and relate about how you not fitting in anywhere. You know, because I personally don't fit in perfectly with either the left or the right politically in this country. I mean, I agree with many principles of the left, but I also agree with many principles of the right, you know? So I don't really fall into either camp. And, you know, I do think corporations have too much power, but I also do think corporations have rights also. Um, so to say where do I fall, I'm not gonna personally fall into either sort of extreme. I think it kind of creates a false dichotomy, and it also kind of like when people just kind of blindly go along and kind of just start repeating empty cliches all the time on either the left or the right. I think it kind of becomes an inauthentic thing, like Heidegger would talk about, and I think um, I think that's a major problem. You know, whether it's on any issue like on religion or politics or you know theism, atheism. It's like there's just so much empty cliche and just mindless following, and you know appeal to ridicule and ad hominem attacks, and you know and I guess his last comment to me was block for being a waste of air. So you know, I mean, I guess appeal to ridicule, ad hominem, you know. But I think that's the problem. You know, people get trapped in these ideologies, and then they kind of get trapped in their own ego. And you know, I mean, I guess I definitely relate to where you're coming from, Inspiredom. That I feel, you know, I feel like I don't fall into either any camp either, and kind of I don't really fall into either the left or the right. You know, so I think your last video was really good again, and I can relate to where you're coming from. Oh, and I definitely relate to the difference between emotional and intellectual intelligence. I mean, I think sometimes I believe emotional intelligence takes more effort because there's it maybe takes more reflection. I don't know. I mean, intellectual intelligence takes a lot of reflection also, but I think you're right. There is a difference also. And so, yeah, that's it. Good video, and all right.